This is Leanne with Diamonds and Doxies, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to do a WIP and chat. WIP stands for WIP stands for Work in Progress, and my WIP is Poppies and Flowers, and I just finished this little guy here, and then part of the flower, so I'll be over here in this section. So, yeah, it's about there's just a tear more than 3 rows, but I will make it just 3 rows. So, yeah, chances are of me finishing this for Oz and Arg are slim to none, but we're going to give it a try. So anyway, and I'm taking off the lid because, well, it's pumpkin. Bijou Bliss tray. So it's got the magnets. It's got the magnets on the bottom, so I could, you know, put I think I get these confused sometimes. Oh, this way then. Yes, like that. So I can put it on the bottom, which is fine. Anyway, and the stopper is magnetic as well. So I like it. I use my stopper. I also use my lids, as you can see over here, because inside of here are, oh, gotta be careful I don't spill them. You see there's 2 different colors here, y'all. So, yep. So they're in there. I know which ones they are, and I will use them as I go along. And then, of course, I've got my Art Dot large drawer storage, and you can see where the 2 missing drills are. And then first, oh, and my pen is from Enabler's Outpost. I got a single placer with a glue dot in it, and I have a multi-placer with Galactic Alien Putty. And both of the placers are from Diamond Art Club. They're my favorite, so that's what I use. So let's move this over. Let's get us a section pulled up here. Come here. Ooh. Maybe I should just use mine. Nope, I can't. I've been so busy that I had to cancel my nail appointment last week. And I haven't rescheduled because I don't know when's a good day to reschedule to. But I did take off my polish, but, you know, I need a manicure. So, I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen. So, anyway, okay. So, let's put I keep my drills over here in my storage because it's just convenient that way. So, how are y'all doing? How's everybody else doing? I asked in my Facebook group, and if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you're more than welcome to join. It's Diamonds and Doxies, and if I remember, I will leave a link down below. It's in my bio on YouTube, so you can go there, but I'll try to remember to leave a link. So, oh my goodness gracious. This is a round drill kit, and in inches, it's a 19 by 17, so it's not big. And in normal times, this would have been done a long time ago. I started it on August 2nd. Yeah, and today's the 23rd. So 3 weeks. Oh, I am such a slack. But I've just been so, in the evenings, or anytime really, after I get up and get moving, I am just so tired. I mean, it's like, it's been a whirlwind of movement, you know. Max asked me today, he was like, do we have anything Monday? And I was like, well, I have a doctor's appointment. Okay, that's it? And I was like, yep, that's it. What about Tuesday? You know, well, Tuesday is the guy who's going to give me a bid on putting the shutters in. Oh, okay. So that's all that Monday is, though? Yeah, okay. All right then, you know, thinking, okay, got a little bit of a breather. I mean, I don't have to go to the doctor till the afternoon. And, well, now the AC guy is going to come out on Monday, which is good because, I mean, I don't need to be there for that, but it's good because it's hot here, y'all, and air conditioners just, you know, they don't last as long as they should, or I guess they last as long as they should, given the circumstances. Anyway, one of them, there's 2 units, right? I'm sure it's one for upstairs and one for downstairs. One of the units is newer. And I want to say maybe it was replaced in 2012. I think that's what she said. But the other one, you know, the house was built in 1995, and it's like, dang, this one looks like the original. I know that cannot possibly be, but nothing lasts that long. But, you know, it kind of looks that way. So he's going to come out and just kind of give us, you know, how much longer he thinks, how much, you know, I mean, if he says, oh, geez, you know, you're just, it's not going to be much longer at all, then we're probably just going to go ahead and replace the system and get all new system. Because, well, yes, it is expensive, but the newer ones are much more efficient, energy efficient, so we would save money there. And but also, we don't want the dang thing to stop. We just do not want that. So we do have something on Monday after all. That's okay. And then tomorrow, which is Saturday, I have my painter coming out because when they built this house, apparently they did not seal all of the vents. You know, they didn't caulk them very good. And so what happens is, you know, that goes into the attic. So what happens is the cold air inside my house meets with the hot air coming out of the attic, and it creates condensation, which in turn leaves a watermark. So the painter's coming out tomorrow. I think I have 5 or 6 like that. So he's coming out tomorrow, and he's going to remove the vents, do the caulking, you know, get rid of the moisture, and then paint, and then put it back up, and then that should cure the problem. We should hope. So, yeah. And then I had a showing on my house. What is today? Today's Friday, so it was Wednesday. Had a showing on my house. The lady was here. Well, she was here for an hour and 20 minutes. But eventually, at some point, her ex-husband, who is also her good friend, sound familiar, but they don't live together and are not going to live together, but she does trust his opinion. So he came over, and they took pictures, they took video, they went out back 3 or 4 times, they went through the house 3 or 4 times. I mean, just constant. And very interested in the house, right? And my Ring camera picked them up, and she was saying, you know, I love this house, I love this floor plan, you know, and blah, blah, blah. So, but here's the downside. Here's the other part of that equation. She is not a real estate agent. She does not want to hire a real estate agent. She wants to represent herself and get paid commission. So, or negotiate that part of the commission out. And she doesn't want to hire an agent, but she wants comps. She wants my agent to do all of her work for her. And she's like, I cannot do this for you. You know, I work for the seller. You know, you need I don't want a buyer's agent. So I told my agent, I said, look, you know, I don't know why she doesn't want an agent, but this is not a for sale by owner deal, which is probably what, you know, she would need. I mean, I know you can buy a house without having an agent. I know you can sell a house without having an agent. I'm not interested in doing that. So, and I'm not going to negotiate my agent's fee. You know, that makes no sense. That makes no sense to me, you know? So I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So I told my agent, I said, look, after the closing that we had I'm still traumatized by it. And I just don't have time, or mentally or physically have time or patience for this kind of nonsense. So, you know, either she wants the house or she doesn't want the house. Now, I may be singing a different tune in a couple of months, but right now I'm like, I don't want any flighty people, you know? I don't want any of that. So, I mean, my agent told her, you know, if you want to represent yourself, you can fill out a form and submit it, and I will share it with my client. But, you know, we're not going to negotiate agent fees because that is strictly for MLS. And I assume it's that way in every state. I don't know if it's just the way it is here in Texas. So only MLS agents get reimbursed, or, you know, make commission. And, you know, you have to go, you don't just show up and go, I'm going to be an agent today. No, you have to go to college. You have to pay quite a bit of money. You have to keep up with continuing education, you know, which is not cheap. And, you know, just to maintain your license. So why would you think you could just walk in and have nothing and ask my agent to give you all these details? I mean, like, she asked my agent, how much did she pay for the house? My agent was like, I'm not going to tell you that. You know, that's, first of all, that's irrelevant. You know, what somebody paid for something and what they sell it for are two different things. And it's really none of your business, you know, and it isn't. I'm like, gosh, you know, do I go out, you know, does anybody ask you, how much did you pay for that car? How much did you pay for those clothes? How much did you know, no, you don't do that. And she goes, well, I thought it was public record. And she was like, well, if you thought, you know, she didn't say this, but she was like, well, if you thought it was public record, why didn't you go look it up? You know, I mean, go look it up. So, you know, it's like you just want to take the buyer's agent's money, and that's just, no, because I think, you know, it'll just be a big old cluster, and, you know, it won't go smoothly, and it'll just be another hassle. I told my agent, I said, I'm at the point right now where serious buyers only, you know, don't come at me with these asinine requests. But we'll see. Like I said, my agent, you know, emailed her she did send her 6 months worth of comps. She wanted 2 years, and my agent was like, that's just, it's not necessary. The appraisals only go up for 6 months, so that reflects the current market. So, you know, no, that's all I got. You know, if you want more than that, then you need to go see an agent. So, anyway, because I'm kind of like, you know, if you want the house that much, then get you an agent. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm the one paying for this. Sorry, I had to get me a drink. So, yep. So that's where that is. And then, y'all, today, if I can remember to post a picture. I did post a picture in the Facebook group, but in case you're not in there and you're not on Facebook, I will insert a picture here so that you can see this monstrosity. But it is a walking stick. I mean, it has an official name, but that's what we know it as a walking stick. Now, having said that, I have never in my life seen one that big. I've seen them before, but never that size. I mean, we're talking 3 inches, 4 inches, something like that. This thing was 6 to 7 inches, every bit of it. And it's one of those things that even the pictures, it's like, just doesn't really do it justice. But they're harmless. They're harmless little insects. Well, not little, but they're harmless. Except for maybe making you have a heart attack or something. But we weren't expecting it, and we had went over there. Well, first of all, it was a comedy of errors. I went over there this morning to let the contractor in so he could change out one of the locks. So we had a hard time getting in. But anyway, so he fixed that problem. And I went out there to water. The owner had left a couple of plants in pots. She left quite a few pots too. But, of course, no one's there watering them. It's 100 degrees, so they need water. So I go over there, and there's a water hose right by one of them. I'm like, yay, this is convenient. So I go to turn the dang thing on, and I guess I don't know what they did, but let's just suffice it to say I got soaking wet. Soaking wet. And I was like, well, dang it, because I had to go by the bank. So I waited a little bit and then, went on to the bank. So anyway, I told Max, I said, we need to bring another water hose because that one's messed up and I have an extra one. So we took that over there, and it's the landscape guy said it's like a Mexican lime. I don't think so. I think it's a kumquat tree. That's what I think. That's what I think, because the fruit are very small, and one of them was already turning orange, and it's small. It's a shape, but I used my iNaturalist app, and my iNaturalist said it was a kumquat, so I think that's what it is. Which I won't eat them, I don't think. We had loquats when I was growing up, and I didn't like those. And so I did a Google search on them and watched a little video about them, and they're bitter. Well, you eat the skin and everything, and the skin is what is super sweet. And then you get into the flesh of it, and it's bitter. And I'm like, this doesn't sound pleasant to me. But there were recipes on making jams and marmalade. So I think marmalade is what I found. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe next year if I get a decent crop, I'll make some marmalade. You never know. But anyway, so so I could get over there with the water hose. Well, the water hose doesn't have a washer. So he was like, if you don't have a washer and you plug this in, it's just water's going to go everywhere. And I was like, I know what that's like. So he said, I'll just move the tree over underneath the water spigot and we'll let it do its thing. I don't know if the walking stick was on the tree or what. I mean, like literally 1 second it wasn't there, and the next second there it was. And I went like that, and Max jumped back. What? I was like, bug. He looks at me, he's like, oh my God, what the heck is that? So I said, well, I calmed down a minute. I was like, it's a walking stick. He goes, I've never seen one that big. I said, nope, me neither. And of course, I did not have my phone with me. So went back in, got my phone. First I had to go to the bathroom. Got my phone and went out there, and he had started crawling up very smoothly up the brick wall. But I did get a picture of him. And yeah. So then I put him in my iNaturalist, and it said, it's a walking, gave the original name, but the real scientific name, but also walking stick. So I went to look at it, and it said, they get to be between 3 and 4 inches long. I was like, dude, no, they don't, So these either tapped into a nuclear plant or something, I don't know. Well, then I continued reading. It said, except in Texas, where Texas has its own species, and it gets to be about 7 inches long, and it's the longest insect in the U.S. And I was like, there you go. That's what we have, the Texas kind. Aren't we lucky? So, yeah. They're pretty harmless, except, if you get too many of them, they can do some damage. Because they do eat leaves and bark and stuff. So, they can do some harm. But, I'm not really worried about it right now. I mean, seeing one doesn't do anything. There's a lot of foliage out there. So, but I did read that they only have babies once a year. So, yeah. But yeah, they're, when I was a kid, we'd catch them you know, we catch them and let them walk up our arms, you know, and it tickled. But I'm not gonna let this one walk up my arms. It's too big, too big. So, but as long as he stays outside, I'm okay. And like I said, it scared me because I wasn't expecting it, you know. So, we did have the exterminator come out. Oh, shoot. Leanne, Leanne, Leanne. How many of these did I do? How many did I do? Okay. Well, just hang in there while I have to move all of these. All of these. Well, now that one's right. Okay. There's hope. There's hope that I didn't mess them all up, right? Yeah, I messed that one up. So anyway, we had exterminators come out. So now we've got all kinds of bugs. Make sure. Yep. Okay. I had only messed up a few, so that's okay. We've got all kinds of bugs and tree roaches. And y'all, therein lies my phobia. I have an absolute phobia. I call them big roaches. They're tree roaches. They fly. They fly. They got like a blonde streak through their heads. They are, I'm pretty sure they came here with Satan. And I'm pretty sure that's what hell is made up of. Because that would be my hell. And when I was growing up, we had them. And, you know, I grew up in a neighborhood that was built in the 30s. The house was built in the 30s. So, and the neighborhood was called Pecan Park. And it was called Pecan Park because we had a lot of dang pecan trees. But we also had cottonwood trees. Again, hate because of the beetles that would fly into my hair. But anyway, and you could hear, I'd be trying to go to sleep at night, and you could hear them. You could hear them walking. They're like, and I'm like, stop it. And so I would yell, you know, from my grandparents. My grandmother, I'll never forget one time. She came into, I wish you could see the picture in my head. She came into my bedroom. She had her hands on her hip. She was wearing both hands on her hips. She was wearing, she called them dusters, but they're, I mean, I think they're like little house coats type thing. And she was like, Leanne, what is the fuss all about? And I was like, there's roach. And as soon as I sat up, you know, uncovered my head, she had 3 of them on her. And I was like, ah! I mean, it was like something out of a damn horror movie. And she was like, oh, Leanne, it's just a roach. They won't hurt you. And I'm like, yeah, no. So she would be like, okay, I killed it. And I was like, did you though? Did you? Because, you know, you don't look like you did. I mean, she'd take it in the bathroom and, you know, flush whatever it was. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I trust you. So I'd get, my grandfather would have to come in there, and he'd get down on the floor. Was I spoiled? Yeah, a little bit. He'd get down on his hands and knees and look underneath my bed. You know, nope, there's nothing there. Look over here. Nope, there's nothing there. And then I could finally go to sleep. But I am so afraid of them. I cannot get close to them. I cannot get close to them. I can't step on them. I have, and it just, so horrible because they make a pop. And let me tell you something. You need to make sure they're dead, because if you leave it and the next morning you wake up, you thought you killed it or someone killed it, it's gone. It's gone, okay? You hear me? It is gone. Now, I've been told that other big roaches eat them, which grosses me out more, because then I have to think, oh dear, that means another one came in. But, I mean, like a roach missing its head, and the next day it's still there. I mean, it's gone. I mean, it's gone. Oh, I hate those things so bad, so bad. So I told Max, I said, okay, here's the dealio. I love this house. I love everything, but there is not enough room in this house for me and a big damn roach. So it's part of living there, but you know, we are absolutely going to be on a rigid schedule of getting the house exterminated because no, that's just a big fat no. So I told him, I said, you know, he said he'd come quarterly, but he would come sooner if we needed him to. And I'm like, you know, we might want to give it a couple of weeks and have him come back out. Because, I mean, that house has been vacant for a while. It's been in disrepair. No one's taking care of it. You know, it's like, these might be a little harder to kill. So, of course, it'll be helpful when we get, you know, the rotting wood fixed. And what's going on? Oh, I see. I've got a drill on my single placer. I was like, why is this not working? So, yeah. So there's all kinds of bugs. So far, I've not seen any rats. Knock on wood, because that would be not be good. But I know we've got them because, well, I mean, at some point, I'm going to take some video just to show you what it looks like now. Because, y'all. And then you'll go, oh, yes, I see. I see. So, anyway. And let's see, what else is going on? Oh, I had to take care of financial business today. Had to close out one account, open up another account. And, you know, just trying to get all that sorted and situated. So, I got that achieved. So that was a good thing. Oh, Max, his air conditioner wasn't cooling very well, so he called our AC guy. And he came out, and he was like, well, you're leaking coolant. And anyway, it's a condenser or something, I don't know, needed to be replaced. $3,500 later, I'm like, I mean, our houses were built at the same exact time. I'm like, come on, air conditioner. You could do it. But, I mean, I did have inspectors just look at it, and it was fine. So, I mean, that was an AC guy, not an inspector. So, we'll see. Hopefully, it will last. But now his air conditioner is working groovy. So it was having a hard time cooling off. But you know what that knucklehead would do? I couldn't believe it. So during the day, he puts his air at 72, just like I do. And then at night, he puts it at 69 or something. I don't know. He puts it colder, maybe 67. I know I put mine at 67. I think he might too. And but what he's been doing is when he gets up in the morning, you see, to hurry up and make it to 72, he turns on the heater. I'm like, dude, it heats up to 72 within an hour. It is so hot outside. It never cools off at night. I mean, it never cools off. It never gets, you know, it never gets out of the high 80s. And with the heat index, it's about mid-90s. So it never cools off. I'm like, you got to quit turning your heater. So he did, and he was like, you're right. It heats up real fast. I was like, yeah, it really does. And we're going to have a talk about this because I hardly run the heater at all. I mean, at all. Because I don't like the feel of a heater. It dries the air out, dries my sinuses out. And there's something about hot air blowing on you versus cold air blowing on you. And I mean, like 67 with the air conditioner on is cool. 67 with the heater on is hot to me. So I'm like, yeah, we're both gonna have to get used to some stuff because I'm like, oh, geez Louise. I mean, really and truly in the winter, I rarely put my AC above, I mean, I sleep with it at 62. And I might put it up to like 66 just to break the chill. And then that's it. So I'm very hot-natured. Max is very cold-natured. So, yeah. Anytime we go on vacation, because in addition to having those colder temps, I also have, I travel with a fan because I get hot. And every time we stay in a hotel, it's like, we're going to need extra blankets, please. And he always brings his winter robe so he can put that over him and a blanket, you know. Really. So I'm going to have to make sure that on his side of the bed, he has like a down blanket. I think he'll like that. My side of the bed, however, will not. So I did learn that in some countries it is normal for everybody to have, you know, whoever sleeps in the bed has their own bedding. And my nieces do that too. They're like, oh no, we have to have our own blankets because, yeah, there's no way. So I'm like, well, that's what we're going to do. That is exactly what we're going to do. Oh, so then earlier, I was going to get ready to come in here and film, and Max texts me, and he says, there's a rat. He's got a doggy door, just like mine, except Maggie doesn't use it, so he keeps the cover on it so nothing can get in. He said, there's a rat, and it's trying to get in my doggy door. And I was like, what? He said, there's a rat trying to get in my doggy door. He said, I've called Jacob to come help me, but can you come over? I was like, of course. So me and the dogs go over, and of course, you know, my little dachshunds, they got the noses, and Gus was on it immediately. I mean, immediately he started smelling the way the turtle, well, okay, so it was a turtle, so the way that it went, and I got over there. I didn't have my glasses on, but Gus went over there and started growling, but didn't get close to it. Snoopy went over there, got close to it, and walked away snorting, and so I don't know if the thing nipped at his nose or what. He wasn't bleeding or anything. And so anyway, first I didn't have my glasses on, so I was at a little bit of a distance. I was like, oh my God, is that a snake? You know, because if it's a snake, yikes. But then I got a little closer and I was like, it's a turtle. He was so cute. We get turtles a lot in our backyard. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times we've had to get a box because there's a pond just down the street. I mean, it's about, I don't know, it's about by where my mailbox is. So it's very close. And I mean, I've had turtles at my front door, you know, banging on the front door, like, let me in. First time I heard it, I was like, what the hell? Somebody's trying to get in my house. And I looked through my Ring camera and I'm like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, but yet I'm hearing something, you know? So, and then Max, I was like, can you come over? So he came over and he goes to the door and he's like, who is it? You know, nobody answers. Of course, I'm like, I already looked at the doorbell. There's nobody there. And so he opens the door and then he looks down and he was like, oh my gosh, it's a turtle. So we have caught, you know, the dogs have found them in the backyard, you know, barking at them, and I have to make them leave them alone and get a box, you know, go put them in the pond. I don't know what makes them want to come to houses, but we're driving, leaving the neighborhood or something. I was like, well, there's one in the middle of the street. If we don't stop and get it, someone's going to run over it. So, yeah. I don't know what makes them do that. It's like, you know, I'm imagining, because it's so hot, the pond is probably hot, you know? I mean, they're probably looking for, like, you know, can you run me a cold bath, please, sir? But maybe the water is just hot for them. I'm sure it's warm because it's not deep. It's not a very deep pond, I don't think. Maybe in the very, very, very middle or something. I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah, I told him, I said, well, today's been a day of nature. He's like, yeah. So that was kind of funny, though. But Jacob came over. You know, he was already walking up. I called him to tell him it was a turtle, but he was already walking up. He was like, I want to see the turtle. So he came back, and he was like, oh, so Max was like, here, you can take them to the pond. I was like, okay. So he goes, I want to keep them. I'm like, yeah, I would like to have a turtle too. I said, but they have to have a pond. So they can't survive. They're not like a box turtle or something, you know. But yeah, I would too, but my dogs would bark at it and harass it. And I mean, I'd have to build it a pen, but still they would harass it. So yeah. But I do love turtles and tortoises. I call everything a turtle, but there's a nursery down here that they've got, I forget what kind it is, but it's big. I mean, it's big. It's a big boy. And, or maybe it's a girl, I don't know. But it wandered up during Harvey. It came up, and they rescued it, and they kept asking, is this somebody's pet? Because, you know, it wasn't a typical turtle. I think it's actually a tortoise. But anyway, nobody ever did, so they built it an enclosure, and they feed it, and it's so fun to go watch them feed it, and so it's theirs now. I forget what kind it is. They got the name of it there. They take it to the vet and all that good stuff. So, but it's one of those that'll, you know, they estimate it's about 50 years old. So, I mean, it's one of those that could live to be about 200 maybe, which blows my mind. Blows my mind. Stay. So, yeah. That's pretty much what's been going on with me. I have not been diamond painting much. I've just been too tired. I mean, yeah, I have just been too tired. Today wasn't as strenuous, though. Today wasn't as strenuous. I call it is not as strenuous because I didn't sweat a whole lot, you know, just mildly dewy. So that means I wasn't doing much physical labor. Yeah, so anyway, but I hope y'all let me know down below how y'all are doing, what y'all are up to. And if you want to, join the Facebook group. That'd be great, too. That's also a great place to tell me what's up. Okay, am I missing any of these? I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's see. I think, tomorrow I have the painter guy. I don't think he's going to be here long. And I don't think Max has anything. So we're kind of talking about, well, the painter's going to be here between 10 and 11. So that's kind of, I don't know. We'll probably have to eat at home. But we want to, maybe Sunday. I don't know. We want to take lunch over to the house. We took some folding chairs, our camping chairs over there, and set them up in our den, and we just love sitting there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. And it's in the middle of this town. It's a small town, you know, like population of 20,000. So, yeah, it's about 100,000 smaller than where we live currently. But there's still a lot of traffic. But it's, you know, it's 30 miles an hour, so yeah, no one's going fast. And let me tell you something, those cops do not play. They do not play. They're always out there with, you know, writing tickets. So, and at first I was like, gosh, but now I'm like, thank you, because it does cut down on noise. But it's so wooded back there, you know, and then between us and the main road, there's a cemetery in addition to a house, you know, so, you know. Yeah. And, you know, so that's one reason why we felt really good about it, because it's like, that's not going anywhere. You can't with the cemetery. And then directly behind us is the Catholic church, and it's been there, you know, Max grew up there, and it's been there that long, so they've added on to it. But it's not going anywhere. So I think we're all safe. At least in our lifetime, at least. they did have some crime at the HEB, which, you know, we go to that, and but they caught them. And I think what they were doing was they were going up to especially elderly people. Yeah, elderly. Here we are, right? I mean, because I think the guy was like 66 or something. I'm like, yeah, okay. But anyway, I guess they see them in the store, and like if they do the self-checkout, they'll come up behind them. Excuse me, sir, you know, you dropped this in the self-check, or wherever they were, you know, they tell them, you dropped you dropped some money, and, you know, you need to get your wallet out and put this in there and keep it safe. And as soon as the guy takes out his wallet, well, guess what they do? They take his wallet. And they're not looking for money. They're looking for credit cards. They're looking for driver's licenses. Yeah. Which, honestly, I'd rather be like, take my cash. Don't take that, because that's just going to be a big old hassle. All my bills come out of there, you know. Like, no, you cannot have this. But, you know, I'm like, I would like to think that I would not do that, you know. Well, first of all, I would know it wasn't true because I don't carry cash. So I'd be like, that's not my money. It must belong to somebody else, not me, you know. But still, I mean, if they wanted to, I guess they could knock you in the head, you know. But, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, they caught those two women. They were in neighboring towns. But I don't like thieves, you know. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't like them. But I especially don't like anyone who harms the elderly or children. I just have no sympathy for you. Just don't. That is just, you know, yeah. And, you know, I don't say you, I should say me. I think, well, okay, you know, I'm 61. But I'm not so stupid, you know. I don't think I would ever be a victim of something like that. Well, you know what? You know, people come up all the time with new ways to harm you. You know, there's always a new scam. And some of them seem very legit. Very legit. And, you know, it's like, you can't say that you're stupid that if you fall for a scam, because especially the elderly, because, you know, that's all new to them, you know, that particular thing. Or, you know, like my aunt, she couldn't believe it because my aunt is just absolutely astute. In fact, she has told my uncle so many times, she just like, you know, you're going to get scammed. You're going to get scammed. Don't ever click on anything. And she was like, well, I'll be damned. I did. And the only reason she found out was because she has her account that notifies her immediately when a charge is made. And she was like, oh no, you know, uh-oh. And so she hung up talking to the scammer and called her bank immediately. And they were like, yep, okay. So they canceled the fraudulent charge. But she was like, I can't believe I did that, you know. But he sounded like he was with Amazon, you know. And she, you know, the thing is, if you order stuff from Amazon, which she does, you know, you might be thinking, oh, okay, well, what's the matter? Oh, my payment didn't go through. And I mean, I've gotten emails like that before. You know, I'm sorry, your order didn't go through. Well, you know, especially if you're elderly and you're like, oh, I just placed an order and my payment didn't go through. Okay, you know, so I need to fix that. So, you know, I was like, I don't know. And, you know, you've got the elderly people. They live on a fixed income. I mean, even if they have a retirement, it's fixed. You know, no more money is going to be going into it. They're not working anymore. So, you know, they rely on it. And, yeah, it's just like how, I don't know. I just don't think God likes you to do that. Just don't. There's always somebody trying to get your stuff. I don't know. I don't know about this world anymore. I do know there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good. And I try to remind myself, you know, it's like, okay, Leanne, you experienced one bad thing, you know, but look around you. How many good things happened to you today? Well, you know, a gazillion. But we never think about the good, right? It's always the bad stands out. And of course, that's all that's ever on the news. I don't watch the news. So, yeah. Because I think if I watched the news, I probably would go hide somewhere, get my blankie, and suck my thumb. So, yeah, no point in doing that. But then they had someone at the same HEB, went in there walked through the whole store, got a whole $400 worth of groceries, right? And just walked out like they owned the place. I'm like, God, I've gotten home and found out they didn't charge me for something and gone back up there. It's like, how brazen do you have to, I mean, $400. It's like, how brazen do you have to be? I just don't get that mentality, you know? Obviously, they were raised different. I don't know. Or, you know, or maybe there's a drug problem. I don't know. So, it's not because they need groceries, because there's a food bank just down the street. There's several food banks just down around. In fact, the Lions International, they were passing out boxes of frozen meats. You know, it's like, there's if you need help, it's out there, okay? You don't just go in and steal. And you just don't. I don't get it. I mean, I just don't. I can't wrap my head around it. Cannot wrap my head around it. But, you know, we do, I mean, our county is pretty good about prosecuting. Pretty good about it. So, but not all the counties are like that. And I always say we're just one election away, from being a county like that. Because our neighboring county is, I mean, a felon who is not allowed to own a gun, right, is arrested with a gun and given zero bond. They can just leave. Just leave. Just go. And I'm like, okay, how does this work? I don't understand. You know, to me, I would like to stop gun violence. Most gun violence is carried out by people who are not legally licensed, or, you know, cannot carry or not legally own a weapon. It's usually people that are felons. I mean, they rob people, they shoot people, they murder people, they rape people. You know, not good people is what I'm trying to say here. And it's like, you should have a rule that if you are a felon who's not supposed to have a gun and you are caught with a gun, that, you know, it's an automatic 25-year sentence. You know, it's automatic. Because, you know, if they can just walk out the door, go like, okay, all right, see you later, all right. We've had that happen in Houston, and that very person went on to kill somebody else. While they were out on the zero bond, you know, they went out, had another gun. Because they don't buy their guns, you see. They don't go through the legal channels of buying a gun. Even we do have gun laws. We do. A lot of people think Texas is just the wild, wild west. Everybody's just walking around shooting everybody. No, we do have gun laws. But criminals don't follow laws. So only the honest people do. So they're buying stolen guns imported from Mexico. Yeah, I mean, They're not going through the normal channels of buying a gun. So to me, you need to make it worse, because, yeah, if my loved one was killed because you let somebody out with the slap on the hand who's already proven, I mean, they're felons who got in trouble using guns in the past, you know? I mean, it's like, this makes no sense to me. I just can't make it make sense. And it's like, yeah, it's like, who's running this joint? I don't know. And I feel like if some of these judges who do that, you know, if they, you know, they have a job to do, right? And if they do a horrible job, they should be fired. You know, at the least, it should be public. You know, the public should have a right to say, why in the heck, Judge, did you give this, you know, child molester, you know, a $500 bond? You know, why did you do that? Somebody should have to answer. I mean, it should be, the buck stops here. You're the judge. You have the ability to dole out the bond and all that good stuff. And they just don't. And it's like, you know, you really, you know, you should be held accountable. You know, you should be held accountable like anybody else is held accountable for what they do or don't do. You need to be as well. That's my opinion, of course. And probably, you know, doesn't matter a hill of beans, but yeah. And the lawmakers who pass the laws that also allow judges to, you know, give zero bond to felons in possession with a weapon, you know, they should be, you know, the news should be able to call you out, you know, like those investigative reporters. They should be able to go to you and go, hey, did you know that the law that you passed now has cost the life of somebody? Somebody has died, a child has died, there was a drive-by and an innocent person got killed. You know, what do you think of that? How does that make you feel? You know, I mean, call them out. Call them out. You did this, because when it comes time to run for office, guess what? No one's going to tell you about that. No one's going to tell you about that. All they're going to be concerned with is, you know, which side you're on. Have you ever had an affair? You know, it's like, I don't care if you smoke dope. I don't care if you had an affair. Do I think it's morally wrong? Yeah, okay. But I'm not looking for someone here with superior morals. You know, I want you to do what you were elected to do, and that is to protect and serve the people. And you are not serving the people when you create laws that let violent offenders run everything. You know, the crime and the punishment should fit. It should fit. So, anyway, okay, that's my soapbox. It's my soapbox. I'm going to get off of it now, and I hope I didn't offend anybody, but, you know, I don't know. I just get tired of it. I hate to see innocent people, you know. I don't want to see anybody get harmed. Even if it's like, you know, there will be some cases of, you know, gang-related, and you got 14, 15-year-olds getting shot and killed, and of course it's like, well, you know, that's what happens when you involve yourself in that. But at the same time, I'm like, God, you know, what a waste. What a waste of a life. You know, you could have turned your attentions elsewhere. You know, what a shame. What a shame. You know, I mean, you might have found the cure for some cancers, or, you know, you could have been president, or, you know, and there's just so many things that you could have been, that you could have done, that you could have helped. And now you're dead. And That's it. And I really think, now I'm really going to sound old, okay? But I really think these kids play these video games where, you know, they kill other people and then they just, you know, those people get up and walk away. Or even like Fast and the Furious, you know, because we have some of those too that, you know, and that die from car crashes like that. And it's like, that's not real. And I guess no one ever told you it's not real. I don't know. But it is sad. I had a friend who worked in gang ministry. And he started here locally, and then they moved to Chicago. I mean, he really got into the thick of things. And he started a ministry there, and then they moved back, and he kept it going here. And he said, I will tell you the common denominator. There is one thing every gang member has in common. Every one of them. None of them have a father in the home. None of them do. They don't come from a two-parent family. Now, I was a single parent for a while, you know, so I'm not saying if you're a single parent, your kid's going to turn up to be a gangbanger. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, you know, they need some positive boys need some positive male role models. And you know, I think if you're telling me that you do gang ministry and all of them share the same common theme, that nobody has fathers, we need to look at that, you know? I mean, we need to look at that and not be afraid, oh, well, we can't say that because it's going to offend somebody, it's going to do this. No, I mean, we've got to stop doing that. We got to say, look, maybe this does not apply to you, but it does apply to some. And, you know, I mean, when I was growing up, I never even heard the term baby daddy. Yes, there were women who had children out of wedlock, or there were women who had children that they weren't married to their fathers, but, you know, it was just, that's my children's father. I mean, I have heard of deadbeat dads, but I had never heard of baby daddies and baby mamas, you know, and it's like, first of all, I think to me, again, I'm 61 years old, so, you know, to me, it just seems like a disrespectful way to say mother of my child or father of my child in front of your kids, you know? I mean, it's like, no, this is the father of your child. And I miss some of those, so I get to do for yapping. But anyway, again, I don't know why did I get off on this tangent? Why did I do that? I don't even know how it happened. I don't even know how it happened. But it happened, it did. So I think I've been going now for an hour at least. At least. I think. So I think I'll try to finish up these little boogers and then call it a night. So I'd like to get it uploaded this evening. I got to figure out how to add a picture. I think I can do it. I think I can. I can figure it out, I guess. I can try. Oh, I want to know. Well, say today's Friday, so tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm not sure when you're watching this, but, you know, Diamond Art Club has a bunch of new releases coming out tomorrow, and I'm curious, is there anything that caught your eye that you're going to get? You know, there were a couple that caught my eye, specifically the snowmen, but any diamond painting I get right now, it just has to be packed away, so it just seems silly to me. Unless, like I said, unless it's something that I think, oh my gosh, I will be very sad if this gets discontinued. I really, really want this one. Then, yes. But even then, I mean, it has to be something super, super special because I don't mind buying on a D-stash. I really don't. because it just doesn't make sense for me to go and buy stuff that I'm going to have to just, you know, pack it away. Speaking of which, I did get a diamond painting in today, but I had ordered this diamond painting, gosh, back in June. It's been a while, and I'm going to do an unboxing for y'all. It'll be a quick one. It'll probably be tomorrow, but it won't be very long because it's just one diamond painting. But I do want to share it with y'all because I've never ordered from this company before. So I've heard a lot of good things, but never have bought anything. So there are so many diamond painting companies out there, but they are not all created equal. So we'll see. We shall see. Oh, here's two more. Dos más. There we go. All right, I think that's it. I see I missed some of my wands. Okay, y'all. Well, I hope I entertained you for a little bit. I hope you're having a great morning, night, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. And if you're not, I hope that I was able to bring you a little bit of comfort or a little bit of joy or, I don't know, entertainment, something. And if so, I would absolutely appreciate a thumbs up. It helps the channel, but it really helps me too. It makes me feel good, right? Who doesn't like a thumbs up? And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything. And yeah, I really would like to share more diamond painting content with you. So if it's something you think you might enjoy, please subscribe. And turn on the notification bell if you want to make sure you get notified for any videos that I put up, because I found out that that's important if you want to, your favorite creators, if you want to follow them along. Anyway, and then again, let me know. Leave a comment down below. I respond to everybody's comments, so, you know, let me know how you're doing, how everything's going. Let me know if you've ever encountered a walking stick, a really big walking stick. And anyway, thanks y'all, and I hope you have a great rest of whatever it is you're doing. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.